Hello good people, I'm going to spend some time talking about chemical formulas. In particular, I'm going to look at what they stand for and how we can interpret them. So what is a chemical formula? A chemical formula is used to show the type and number of atoms present in a particular substance. The chemical symbol gives the type, while the subscript shows the number of atoms present. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at a few examples. And here they are in a table, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit to make sure that I include all of them. In the left column, we have the names of the substances. In the middle column, I have the chemical formulas. And in the right-hand column, I'm going to analyze the formulas. I'm going to list the elements and their numbers. Okay, so let's start with salt. The chemical formula for salt is NaCl. The symbol Na stands for sodium, so I have one sodium atom. The symbol Cl stands for chlorine, so I have one chlorine atom. And this means that at the end I can say that salt is made up of two atoms, one sodium and one chlorine. Let's look at water next. The chemical formula for water is H2O. The chemical symbol H stands for hydrogen. The little 2 in the subscript tells me that there are two hydrogens. The chemical symbol O stands for oxygen, so I only have one oxygen. This means that water is made up of three atoms, two hydrogens and one oxygen. Moving on. The next one is ammonia. The chemical formula is NH3. The chemical symbol N stands for nitrogen, so I have one nitrogen. The 3 in the subscript after the H tells me that I have three hydrogens. And so I can say that ammonia is made up of four atoms, one nitrogen and three hydrogens. The next substance is copper hydroxide. The chemical formula for copper hydroxide is Cu and then in brackets OH, and outside of the brackets there is a little 2 in the subscript. So what does all of this mean? Well, the chemical symbol Cu stands for copper, so I definitely have one copper atom. The chemical symbols O and H stand for oxygen and hydrogen respectively. But how many of them do I have? Well, this is where we have a little bit of mathematics. A number outside of the brackets indicates that we should multiply it by whatever is inside the bracket. So this means I have two oxygens and two hydrogens. Okay, moving on. The next substance is cobalt carbonate. The chemical formula is CoCO3, and here you have to be a little bit careful. Capital letters and lowercase letters matter a great deal. Capital C, lowercase o, is the chemical symbol for cobalt, so I have one cobalt atom. Capital C stands for a carbon, so I have one carbon atom. Capital O stands for oxygen, but I have a 3 in subscript, so that means I have three oxygens. And finally, I'm going to look at ethanol. The chemical formula for ethanol is C2H6O. So this is telling me that I have two carbons, 6 hydrogens, and a single oxygen. All right, so let's look at two problems now. I'm going to get rid of this and bring in problem number 1. So I need to write the chemical formula for a compound that contains 9 carbon, 8 hydrogen, and 4 oxygen atoms. Okay, so the symbol for carbon is C, but I have 9 of those, so I'm going to place a 9 in subscript. The symbol for hydrogen is H, but I have 8 of those, so I'm going to place an 8 in subscript. And finally, I have oxygen. The symbol for oxygen is O. I happen to have 4 of them, so I'm going to place a 4 in subscript. So the formula now reads C9H8O4. By the way, this is the formula for aspirin. Okay, let's look at the second problem. It's a little bit trickier. I have been given a formula, Cu2, and then in brackets NO3, close brackets 2. and I need to list the type and quantity of atoms. Okay, so let's analyze this formula. Capital C lowercase u is the chemical symbol for copper. The 2 that follows the symbol tells me that I have 2 copper atoms. Now I have to be a little bit careful because I have some chemical symbols inside the bracket. The chemical symbol N stands for nitrogen. How many of nitrogens do I have? Well, outside of the bracket I have a 2, which means I have 2 times 1 nitrogen, which is 2 nitrogens. And finally, I need to look at the oxygens. Inside the bracket, I have O for oxygen, but then A3, which tells me I have 3 oxygens. However, that is not the end of the story. This O3 sits inside the bracket, and outside of the bracket, I have a 2. So again, I have to apply a little bit of mathematics. 2 multiplied by 3 gives me 6. So I have 6 oxygens. So in summary, I could say that copper nitrate contains 10 atoms. 2 copper atoms, 2 nitrogens, and 6 oxygens. So when it comes to chemical formulas, you need to watch out for the chemical symbols, underlined in green here, and the numbers in the subscript, which I am underlining in orange. These numbers tell you how many atoms you actually have. That is all for now, and I will see you on the flip side.